Eric in Denmark has a question for me concerning subwoofers. I guess I've become the subwoofer king. His question is, what are your thoughts about side-firing woofers in a floor-standing speaker? Is it possible to make a high-end speaker that way? Keep up the good work. Best, Eric. Well, thank you, Eric. I will do my best to keep up whatever work I can. So, let's find out what Eric's referring to. Some speakers, ones that we made at Genesis, for example, I think we kind of started, well, I don't know if we started it. We were certainly one of the first people to put woofers in the sides, a practice that was not all that common. Sandy Gross, my friend at Golden Ear, puts woofers in the side. And the reason that Eric's asking this question is kind of obvious. Normally, speaker drivers point straight at us, right? That's when you look at a speaker, it's pointing right at you. And the reason for that, of course, is because much of what we listen to is directional in nature, especially a tweeter. We all know that if you take a tweeter and you aim it at your ear, you're going to have very different sound than if it's aimed slightly off your ear or down or up. I mean, it's almost like a laser beam, right? If you don't hit your mark, you don't get the full benefit of it. And so why wouldn't that be the same with a woofer? Well, here's the answer to that. It is and it isn't. So much has to do with frequency. Below a certain frequency, woofers don't have directionality. And that's important because just like a subwoofer that is properly set up, you can't really tell where that subwoofer is in the room. Now, I'm a big advocate of stereo subwoofers. If I'm setting up a sub or I've got some rels or whatever I've got, those subs are going to be on the left and the right side because generally from a pressure standpoint, that's the best way to load a room. That said, if I set it up properly at a low enough frequency, I shouldn't know where that subwoofer is. There is no directionality. And that goes for whether they're pointing at me or away from me. So yes, absolutely. If you design the speaker system correctly, side-firing woofers are very effective. They just can't go very high. So for example, if I was building a speaker and let's say I did a three-way where I had a 12-inch woofer, a 3-inch, 4-inch mid-range, and a tweeter, okay? I've seen speakers like that. You're going to want that woofer pointing straight at you. Why? Well, because that woofer is going to go up to fairly high frequencies, 300, 400, 500, 600 hertz. And when you get into frequencies that high, then they become very directional and you want those pointing right at you. Otherwise, it's going to sound goofy. But if the side-firing woofer is specific to low-frequency bass, i.e. subwoofers, then, yep, you are fine. And just make sure the designer knows what the hell they're doing. Because if they do, side-firing woofers are excellent. Thanks for the question. Talk to you later.